well, which Dane will be destructed, Harry? That's the question we have in our minds right now. North currently bouncing back to a 1-1 and bringing us to a map that definitely is going to favour the longest standing roster, but OpTic have certainly surprised us today, so I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility that they could take this.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that Chad and Alex touched on over on the desk that I found really interesting was, you know, having two IGLs can leave you in that situation, right, where it's like too many cooks spoil the pot, right? Is the old saying, you know, like you can have someone overshadowing, you can be a bit indecisive, and you know, on a map like Nuke, if you're spending too much time dilly-dallying, you know, like trying to figure out exactly how you want to play, that's where you're going to get exploited. OpTic over on this T side, North. Ooh, well, kills going left and right very early on. Gade instantly bested inside of this A-bomb site, and OpTic looking to take yet another pistol round. They've won all 4 thus far in this best of 3. And a 5th on the horizon. Unless Kierby can pull a clutch from nowhere.
Ooh, the double nade in main as well, just to keep him out. That will certainly send him packing. So OpTic, that's it. That's their pistol round. 5 out of 5 now taken on this T side. That is, you know, obviously it works both ways, right? North need to work on their pistol rounds, but that's pretty insane that OpTic can manage to consistently do that throughout this series. If they get 6 out of 6, then that is there's certainly something to look forward to in the future for this Danish team. Kierby trying to get exits, trying to make some money, but he only gets 1, so it's fine. 1-0 for OpTic. Pistol round taken nice and securely. And North, the question is, what do they do here? Do they buy? Yes. I like this. I like the second round buy on Nuke. It's such a good map to force buy on as a CT. It's not a Dust 2. It's not an overpass. It's very easy to get those close range battles.
And one of the reasons why you imagine they might be that, you know, even that much more rather tempted to go for this is because Kierby was just able to hold on to his armor in the round prior. He gets a pretty cheap reinvestment here. So, oh no, he wasn't, rather.
He died.
Yeah. I'm living in an alternate reality, Hugo.
Yeah.
It's pretty awful. But North with this force buy. As you say, I like this. I'm a big fan of force buying second round, especially over on this T side. Means that you can get out everything you need in round 4. And you have a pretty good chance of finding something here. AZ doing work right now. Kierby up in the heavens, and 3 players left standing on either side of the board. This utility getting thrown out by OpTic as the bomb goes down, and for North here, I mean, they could justify this either way. You know, going for it, trying to save the 3-on-3. They will push on in on the back of it. Valde good for 1, but the trade's ultimately going to favour the side of OpTic. This leaves Cadian in the 1v2, not quite able to flick down onto Nico in time, and so OpTic 2-0 start here, and a 3rd looming, as there is no buy available for North here.
No, and that's the positive thing about, you know, getting an anti-force buy or an anti-eco very close can be a bit worrying, but knowing that you've got that buffer of a full eco coming up is going to be, well, music to the ears of OpTic. They know that North cannot buy here, or at least should not, and they have not. So 3 PT50s and a flashbang. Oh, retake A setup. I like this. North, what we're likely going to see is a heaven stack, and if OpTic take A, AZ can flash them back in to get aggressive. Of course, T's very commonly caught looking at heaven. And we're going to see that A take after all, so this flashbang from AZ may become very important.
Well, flashes in. The issue is it's a little too early, and so they just go barreling into their deaths. OpTic 3-0 start, but now the buy in the arsenal for North. They have that at least to look forward to. And they're going to have all the bells and whistles that they could possibly need. Full utility here. Cadian with armor behind that AWP. So he at least has that to work with.
The issue is with that flash play is if you do it on an eco round like that, you're trying to find the fine point between OpTic getting on the site to OpTic mollying heaven. You want to get between those 2 points. And yeah, as you said, a little bit too early, but not the end of the world. Only PT50s. And this is the buy. Fast yard play for OpTic, not even yard, just silo. They're going to split very, very quickly with the bomb dropped already. That's going to be the crossfire of these Orgs, absolutely shredding OpTic. MSL is still here, so he might be able to make something out of this round as he sits with 1 kill. Kierby close up as well. MSL just missing the timing, but it goes both ways. Kierby turns back, and he does hold the angle as MSL walks into it. Now just refresh alone, Harry. Never seen this before. unfortunately left in a very unlikely situation. 1-on-4, no bomb, UMP, and Valde is right and ready for that kill. So North, first round on the board, they take a rifle.
They take it cleanly at that, right? 4 players staying alive. You've started to build up some money now. If you're North, you can write off that pistol round and the first 2 rounds that come with it. As now they look to try and build back into this game. Now, one thing I think would speak volumes is if OpTic managed to go flawless of pistol rounds in this best of 3 and still lose it. I feel like, while it's great that you're able to win pistol rounds, it really does suggest some problems, you know, setting each other up properly with utility in those rifle rounds, right? Pistols do feel a lot more of an aim battle. You might hold that thought. This fast play looking like it was going to come through actually gets cancelled out by the Molotov. And so that's kind of throwing a bit of a spanner in the works here for OpTic. They were very much looking to try and hit this A-bomb site. The early utilities done a good job of keeping them out. Now the question becomes, will they just continue where they left off, or are they now going to look to try and slow things down, maybe take a new approach?
I'd like to draw your eye to the map as well. We've got the double layer here. So you can see Valde is in secret stairs, number 3 at the bottom. And that's really cool. And you now get to see who's on what side of the map and know the verticality, which has always been a problem when it comes to this map. Flashes and smokes outside. OpTic do have a backup game plan, but it won't be a commitment here. And Valde, he's going to know this. This is the value of having this position. You see the smokes, you go, okay, no one's here. So now North, they're not going to rotate. They're just going to bunker down and hold the A site. And AZ already dropping 2 with the bomb spotted as well. That's everything that North need. Gade has to try and hold the site, but he and Kiebi will fall short. The molly in heaven pushes Cadian forward, and he's got to go straight out into A. The single kill off the back of the AWP, dropping the bomb, and now it's in a 1-on-1.
Valde just hidden. Nico will be allowed to get this bomb planted at the very least. But he is trapped in the bomb site. Valde knows where he is. So up on top of the hub, but Nico swinging wide, takes the fight and plucks the 4th round from nowhere for OpTic.
That's pretty sick. He had to be pre-aiming that hut boost. I'm not sure if Nico got the info, because you could notice him jump spotting over that little metal wall in between the silos. I don't know if he saw that the CT climb up on top of hut, but if he didn't, that's even more impressive. And a pause for OpTic. Maybe trying to work out why North was so heavily committed towards that A site with 3 players despite the fake thrown out. It was, of course, Valde's position that gave North the info, but not able to win the round off the back of it. Of course, OpTic also want to work out what the economy is like in North's hand and what kind of buy they'll be facing. It's pretty damn good considering the scoreline. We've got the AWP for Cadian, and he really showed up back on train as well. So moving into the CT side of Nuke, where Cadian sits potentially in the yard. Also could float ramp in heaven, as we have seen. How do OpTic choose to deal with this threat with no AWP of their own?
I mean, instead, you've largely got to look towards your utility to try and cancel the AWPer of North out. This wall of smoke's going to rain in towards outside once again, and they are good. The cross coming through. It's Snappy. Very quick down towards B. He blindsides Valde with that push, and now MSL arriving in through Secret as well. This B bomb site is already overran with OpTic players. North in this 4-on-5. If something doesn't present itself soon, then this is just the save. Yeah, I mean, they're already backing off. They're not content on going for this.
And fair enough. I mean, you've got a force buy off the back of, you know, getting quote-unquote reset. So no kits and pretty, you know, it's an okay buy, but they got a Deagle, they got an AWP. These aren't retake guns anyway, and you know OpTic have 4 rifles and 5 players down on B. So no real reason to go for it. North will try their luck in the next. I like the pace, though, from OpTic. They had, was it Snappy down vents within 5 seconds of the round, and then boom, they've already got Yard as well to split that bomb down Secret. It's risky on a rifle round to send the bomb on a vent dive, but to send a solo lurk player, very valuable, as we could see. Valde was not ready for Snappy to be down in the lower halls. So 5-1 to OpTic on the T side of Nuke carry. What on earth is going on?
Well, it's been a very good start. One thing that we've kind of noticed as well is it almost feels like they're using refresh less in this lurk role right now, right? You notice there, it was Snappy to barrel down through the vents. It was MSL pushing in first through Secret. round prior that we saw OpTic pick up, it was refresh to find the double entry as he was the first man into the A-bomb site. And, you know, you think about the rounds that North win, a lot of it does come on the back of finding those openers, you know, taking the man advantage and no one being in a position to trade on the OpTic side of things. So
that was a big problem back on train.
Yeah, I do like now that they're trying to use refresh to try and create this space instead of playing around what the other guys are able to create. Now, outside presence once again from OpTic. Only Kirby here. Valdet once more down in secret. Saw them maybe helped out massively by this positioning of Valdet in rounds prior. Will it help them out once again? The Molotov going to force him back. So ground game by MSL as he spearheads this solo charge into secret.
Oh, but the timing, he turns around, and that's exactly when Valdet peaks. The help of a flashbang early advantage now for North, and Cadian, he's got a solo hold ramp, but he's got a teammate side by side. Maybe not needed. 2 kills off the back of the AWP. We'll eventually concede this position because both those players are tagged, and that's no worry because it's a 1-on-5, and they know exactly where the bomb is. On the back of Nico crawling through the ramp room. He is hoping for a miracle at this point. Double rotate down B, Heaven cut off established, and the flank as well. Does take down Cadian, but how much more has he got?
I mean, he's got to have a lot more. You know, 4 players still left standing for North. He at least has the bomb, but yeah, 14 seconds. Gonna manage another. This is where he dies, though. Valdet in position to trade.
And North were having none of that, right? Just hunting down the kill, not wanting him to get away with the gun. Especially not the AWP that Valdet was unable to save there. That's a short post-round time. Not what you'll find in your pugs. So more time, or sorry, less time for you to pick up weapons, utility after the round. And so that AWP has to be reinvested in by Cadian. In fact, it's dropped over by Kirby.
It's always so annoying though, man. In the after-round time, it always feels like when it's you wanting to get a gun, it's so short. But like when you're trying to hold on to a gun and save one, it feels like the longest time ever.
You can hear the footsteps around the corner. Nothing more terrifying than when you're saving and a player pops up on your screen and then the round restarts. You're like, ooh. Oh.
I mean, yeah, one of the things I'm really excited about, you know, while we do have this pause still in effect, is I'm excited to see what these teams make of Vertigo when we finally have it added, right? We haven't seen all too many comp games on it, but the reason I bring it up, you know, a lot of people do compare it to Nuke, right? There's a lot of verticality there. You know, obviously sports some of the same issues as this map as a result of it, but here's the fast push from Cadian. Oh, whoop! Doesn't manage to find anything on the back of it. And now Gade even wants his piece of the action. Only issue is he'll find Refresh waiting patiently on the other side of Hut. MSL once more down in secret. He has been such a nuisance at this portion of the map.
And Cadian has no idea either. He just ran through with his knife out the entirety of the way. Now, if MSL was a couple of seconds earlier, that's a free kill every day of the week. We've already seen that exact fight be won by Snappy onto Valdet in the halls. More so from event drop. But the info MSL got was the window got broken, so now he can creep out onto B. Usually as a terrorist, if you get this position without the CTs knowing, you have to break a window, open a door, make some noise to get even further. But because the window's been broken for him, Harry, he is crept all the way round. Dead is Valdet, and Cadian, well, he may have an off angle here. Surely he gets no more than one.
But MSL actually decided to back down in toward B, so he's allowed a safe passage through ramp as Cadian, and now Easy holding aggressive here. Players coming his way. Nico dispatches to the point man for North, and now we see Kirby and Cadian left standing 2v3. It's going to culminate in this B bomb site play from OpTic. Both players diving in through the vents, so they are already here knocking on the door of OpTic as that bomb looks to go down. It's MSL once again to try and deny it. He gets mopped up, so now Snappy and Nico. Lots of history between these two. They need that synergy to shine through now more than ever. It's going to be a heroic effort from the last two players of OpTic, but time still ticking down. does force the hand of North to try and find something, try and make a play happen. Here's Decon open, but Cadian there, Snappy holding close, gets the first man, but Cadian instantly in position, primed and ready, gets the trade with seconds left. Defuse comes in and North will be on to a third round.
Yeah, that's a questionable one from Nico. Maybe communications problems for OpTic, right? The door was open, but Snappy had the cross. There was no way that Nico can get killed, assuming Snappy holds down that angle. But he had his back turned to the decontamination door, and that's the issue there, right? You do a 180 and you kill Cadian, the round's yours every day of the week, but I guess maybe scared of the door creep. Either way, a retake for North has kept this game a little bit closer, because it certainly looked like OpTic could have run away with this half. Now 5-3 with pistols in the hands of the Ts. No utility. And North, they're using flashbangs to get Cadian deep here in yard. Great nade as well, taking damage to 3 players. And Cadian's here so early, they probably aren't ready for it. So Nico already been picked up. He spots players on the silo as well, but there's not going to be many left up after Kiebi and AZ are done with them. Oh!
Give us another refresh. Nope. All right, worth a try. 4th round for North. They keep it fairly clean, only losing Kiebi there. I mean, you know, big talking point right now, obviously, on the side of OpTic is Config has fallen very quiet here, right? He's been, you know, wasn't having insane performances on either map, but was at least putting up numbers. And we had other players around him, you know, stepping up to fill the void. You had MSL back on Overpass, looked fantastic. Snappy as well there was a real force of nature, but AWP in the hands of MSL. So he is bringing out T-side of Nuke. They're going to look to try and hit this A-bomb site, and they do find the double entry needed. Cadian Molotov'd out of the heavens, but does dunk down at Nico as he departs.
Bomb has been planted.
Issue they're going to have is Val. They're still a long way from this A-bomb site. Snappy's even posted up to try and shut this down. Kiebi now arriving on this flank, and Snappy dispatches of it. So with just Valde and Cadian remaining, if you're North here, you're very much considering this save. You want to try and do some damage if you can. But they won't really be given an opportunity to, so OpTic back for the 6th round.
Man, Snappy would be unbearable to face in that position. He's just making all the noise in the world, running back and forth, trying to bait peaks, hoping North chase down these Ts who have almost certainly won the round at that point. Because that's just more economical damage that Snappy can find, and find he shall. North only save the AWP. Can, of course, buy around it, but they would have liked those save guns, Harry. They would have liked a little bit extra to play with in this round, because now OpTic sitting 6-4, and North forced to call out a tactical timeout as well.
Yeah, maybe considering how they want to field the investment here over on this CT side, and also try and figure out exactly what went wrong there. It was just a fast A play from OpTic, you know, not really anything, not like any grand strategy behind it, right? Just winning their individual duels. Gade buying up the auto shotgun. Big fan of that. Going to look to try and take it to top hut. Still seeing a lot of use out of the auto shotty in spite of, you know, the other shotguns having their price reduced recently. Yeah. I thought maybe we would have seen a bit more Mag 7 usage on the back of its price being reduced.
1,200 or 1,300?
1,300 now.
1,300. That's so cheap. Such
yeah,
a good
it
gun.
Really is. Yeah. But still have really yet to see it catch on all too much. Here on Nuke, you understand why you want the auto shotty, right? If you're up on top of hut, you don't want to have to take time to... I don't even know what the word is.
Give us a sound, Harry. Oh,
there
wow.
you go. That's pretty good.
Bit of Foley.
Yeah.
Smokes out.
Yeah, not in any rush to take that up as my main career, I'll be honest. But
stick to casting.
Yeah, I mean, even that is tentative at best. But here's the outside play from OpTic. Kiebi is here, and he is locking it down right now. Able to find the first man over the top of the hut. And oh, a little bit more. Second kill for Kiebi. Ball started rolling now. Can they put a stop to it? Kiebi's still here, still a nuisance. Does find damage onto Nico, but AZ immediately able to trade. Config answers back and now thrust into this 1v3.
Ooh.
He's finding bodies, but he's not ready for Valde. It's another round for North. Costly one, though, as they go blow for blow with OpTic outside.
Hey, they'll take Costly, Harry. At this rate, OpTic are winning the rifles time after time. So, you know, a round is a round for North. They're not going to complain about it. Gets a bit close there with Config almost finding the clutch, and that's when, if you're in the North team speed, you must be just screaming, peek him, trade him before he gets into a good position to close this 1v2 out. So a lot of room given, but 6-5. The gap's starting to be closed by North, trying to equalize this one. Kiebi's pushed the yard smoke. There's already T's running right by it. Kiebi, he could even be flashed through or just go in through dry. There's no one behind them, and there's no one watching the backline. Kiebi with 2, and the bomb dropped. Even though the T's get secret control, they've got to double back to grab the package. Nico will, but it's still a 5-on-3 with North having all the information in the world.
And the bomb gets dropped once again. They're trying desperately to juggle it, to fumble it into a bomb site. MSL has mopped up AZ. At the very least. Snappy even got as far as to try and secure control of ramp. Cadian just lying in wait on the other side, and 2 players in secret to sit on this bomb.
Ooh.
Cadian caught. Snappy on the rotation. The USP, not ideal. But even making his presence known really does make the situation that much more awkward for OpTic now. MSL dealt with, and it's Snappy in a 1v3.
But he's pincered between 3. And with a man in the vents as well, he won't expect that position. Kiebi finds 4 kills in that round. What a huge play from him, knowing that OpTic continually going for these smokes and, you know, sometimes committing to it very heavily with a bomb and sometimes not at all. Sometimes sending 1 or even 0 players out there. So Kiebi just going for the information, getting aggressive close main, knowing that the close smoke towards red box actually shields the vision of OpTic towards, you know, the A main area. So he just gets free real estate there. Here's the footsteps and finds 4.
Big fan of this Snappy with the Tech 9.
Yeah,
Gun that doesn't get enough love, mate. I'm telling you.
It's coming back.
It is 2019, the year of the Tech.
I don't know. I think that's 2015.
Yeah, to be fair, it has already had a real golden period, hasn't it? But
yeah.
You know, I'm glad that it's getting some love here. Now this outside play has already been picked apart. They try and face. That's not quite how you use it, refresh. But you admire the confidence to try and go for it.
How do you use it, Harry? Give us a step-by-step, a breakdown on the Tech 9, a masterclass.
So, you know, class is in session.
Yeah.
It's just like a really, play like the Deagle, but more mobile.
Yeah.
There you go. You can run and shoot. First bullet's pretty accurate. So just do that. Just don't jump and use it. I mean, that was the real downfall there, you know. I don't think there's many guns that's a viable strat for. The old Scout.
Shotguns.
Yeah, they're pretty keen with it.
If you
haven't seen the sawn off be used at all yet.
That's
and
not,
I feel like we never will.
Thing. That's not a bad thing. Yeah.
Yeah, not every gun can be viable though.
What are you talking about? Suppressive fire.
That is honestly like what I feel like the intention with the Negev price drop was.
They wrote that in the patch notes. Valve wrote that it was for suppressive fire. Let's had a dedicated suppressive fire player.
That's my new job role.
I just spray it.
Yeah, I won't kill anyone, but I will put a lot of bullets downrange. If you throw enough, you know, of a material at
an object, will something happen? What is going on?
OpTic setting up towards outside.
Now look how scared OpTic are of this CT aggression that North have been throwing. Like, they're not even fighting yard, they're mollying close red before they set up the smokes. If that's not conditioning, then what is? North have no one here though. One player down in the doldrums of B and one towards the back of the garage crossfire with Kiev. But OpTic, very lenient to take outside. Instead they'll double back towards the A site, and this is a site that's had so much success for them, but they've not had to face up against a shotgun. Could this be the time for game?
Well, let's see. The auto shotgun's out, but it's only good for one. It's Refresh and Config carving a path into this A bomb site. Kiebi gets mollied out of the heavens, and Valde desperately trying to find something through this smoke. Having a line anything up, so they're on for the retake at a 3v4. Plenty of money available to North here. They'll be buying up next round regardless. They can very much justify taking a look in. Gabby on the wrap round, but it doesn't really feel like North are keen on going for this. Time's ticked away. Yeah, they will just decide to keep these weapons up if they can get away with it. Looking to try and find some players exiting from this bomb site. You know that OpTic don't have too much money, so actually if you're able to take a few of these guns away, you restrict their buy into the last of the half, but it doesn't matter. You know, 3 players surviving, you're all good now. You can juggle this around. You can even look to pick that AWP up.
Yeah, I love that from Cadian as well. Right? I was questioning for a second, like, what on earth is he doing? But North have so much money that, you know, that doesn't matter at all, and he's not scared about giving an AWP to MSL. He's not really been showing it too much on this T side anyway. Just chases down the vents. But not enough casualties to warrant any significant economical damage to OpTic's economy in the last round. 7-7, damn good T side for OpTic regardless. Let's see if they can find the cherry on top here, or if North are more about savory. Kiebi again in the yard. Look at how deep MSL's got him with that AWP, but he's going to walk to his death. Kiebi already scoped in. Config on the top of the silo. Didn't get spotted. Kiebi almost loses his skull as a result, but now the information is there. Cadian flashed into the yard, caught out by Nico on top of the box. That's a good trade from OpTic, back into a 4-on-4.
You know, still testing the waters towards outside, throwing down the usual wall of smokes, and that Molotov, don't think it landed in time to block the smoke, so no, it did not. No gap in it today, and this will allow Nico safe passage into Secret. North have had to dedicate a man here to keeping an eye on this now. A lot of the pressure going to fall onto the back of Valdet here in ramp. Holding for the push, but Refresh able to find him. An advantage retaken here for OpTic, and this is where AZ, the pressure's really on now. There's a player wrapped through Secret in the form of Nico, and he's also going to worry about the ramp play. He really is getting boxed in. AZ feeling very claustrophobic here, and it goes from bad to worse. Oh, no. The Molotov going to burn him forward. If he can find any more, that would be huge, but he's only good for one. Nico now emerging on the flank, and this leaves Kiebi in a 1v3 clutch.
Element of surprise, but that only lasts for a few seconds before OpTic realize where you have to be coming from. And I think they've got a pretty damn good idea. Hidden from the ramp are these 3 Ts, even though Nico's low. Config is in the real killer position behind that box with an open bomb plant as well. This is pretty much a done deal. Kiebi not able to find a kill. He's got his spidey senses tingling, but Config is not giving him the biscuit. It is going to be 8 rounds to OpTic on the half. Kiebi just looking to pad some stats, and that he will not do. 8 rounds for OpTic. What a T side here on Nuke. Not a map that we expected them to take away from North, really. But, you know, with them being Danish, it is in their blood. Either way, that's one half done and one half left of this series. Let's see who's going to be taking it 2-1 and coming out first after the break.
Walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk on, baby. Say
Well, from the sewers of Overpass to the tracks of train, now we're here in Nuke. I'm really not sure about that one. But yeah, you know, the second half about to be underway. We saw this is a very competitive, very close first half between either squad, right? OpTic able to go and win another pistol round. They're currently flawless in this series. If they can kickstart their CT side half by securing that, then they're in for a real treat.
And full armor for it for OpTic as well. It's a fast rush from North down towards the ramp room. Only Snappy on the other side, and he's going to look for a couple of shots before he drops off. He needs to try and put some distance between him and these players. The head stack. He finds the bottom man, but the tower only falls on top of him, and North now take the B bomb site. Refresh. Oh, caught in the door there. Bit of a kerfuffle, but he will get out alive. No idea how. Will he finish the kill? Yes, AZ's dead. Refresh is tearing them apart. Limb from limb, shot from shot, but he'll eventually be dropped.
That was such an awkward gunfight. I don't even know how Refresh was able to manage two. He has really done all you could have asked of him in that position and more. And OpTic, they might have brained themselves here. They've gone for the early rotation up towards A, anticipating that North are going to have a change of heart. And it's brain v brain. Mind games. Door gets opened down at B, and now you imagine the penny drops, as does Config in through the vent. Bomb down, no kit. We saw 5 armors purchased up, so Config has to find these kills, and he has to find them quick. Kirby on the other side, 1v2 required, and he has found the first man. Last is Nico inside of the bomb site, and he's been given up his position. No kit, though. That's really going to be the thing that punishes them here. Surely Nico able to win the one-on-one. Gets the defuse as well, and OpTic, 100% of the pistol rounds in this best of 3 go their way.
That's unbelievable. 6 out of 6, Harry. That's unreal. When does that happen in a best of 3 series? Wow. And to think that, you know, they're only just in the lead as well with both pistols on Nuke. That makes all the difference when it comes to economy game. OpTic had a damn good T side, though. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say, right? You know, you come into the second half after having an 8-7 T side, you're feeling pretty good, right? And the pistol has helped them out massively once again at continuing to build upon that lead.
Look at this buy, though. It's damn good for a second round. Obviously, bomb plant for North gives them the cash, but we have AKs dropped over for a couple. A Scout, a Galil. This is almost as good as OpTic's buy. Fast yard play here from North that already stripped apart is going to be Kirby. Nico shredding him with the AUG. Cadian could grab that AK off the body if he can find it, but got to have long arms. Luckily, he's a man of long arms, apparently. He's tall, so I guess, you know, that's how it works.
A man of long arms.
Put it on
that
a
was
resume.
Like the original name for Slender Man.
Didn't really sell.
No, no. Let's see if these slender men can do anything down towards this ramp from Snappy is here. And he's lying in wait with the Incendiary. Has MSL to back him up. They can afford to run this double stack at ramp room, and now they hear these footsteps, so they know they're going to be rewarded for their patience and for their efforts. Snappy close on the other side, deleting Valder. MSL emerges. It's a bit of a whack-a-mole game down here at ramp, and MSL will get whacked. It's easy to find the double. 3-on-3, and this bomb's been retrieved. It's back towards A. Cat and mouse.
And Mole. Molly will cut off the first point of rotation, though, in Config. He'll go right through it to his death. Like a barbecue. Gay takes his head off. That's a weird barbecue. As the bomb goes down for North, and 2 players left up for OpTic. Might even have to consider the save here. No kit. Not much time already. With Nico being tagged up and both these players rotates being spotted by the Heaven play of Gade. That's all the info North need to bunker down within the bomb site. The positive is here is obviously they need to leave A eventually, and there's only a few places they can go. So considering how low Gade is, he needs to get into that CT spawn ASAP if he wants to survive this bomb, and Nico's in the yard to cut off that exact position. Or at least in the garage, he will do so. Gade dead. And one more man to come as well, but Nico's just going to miss the timing. So AZ will get away with his gun, but he's the only man to do so. Cadian also found on the exit. So at least there's casualties, but a round is a round, and North will keep this one close, not letting OpTic run away with this game just yet. Sick force buy, though.
Yeah, now we end up in like some weird limbo where either team is kind of force buy. Now, obviously, it's going to naturally start to favor this T side. You know, they get that bomb down as well in the pistol that facilitated such a strong force. And so while we do have this buy for OpTic, it's not great, and it does somewhat pale in comparison to that over on the side of North. Snappy really does have to put some work in here at ramp. He's going to find damage. And Valdet. These rotations already coming in from North. Nico posted up. Katie going to try and take the fight towards outside, but he doesn't want to risk going down and handing the 3-on-3 to OpTic. Instead, he's able to dispatch of refresh. So it's Nico and Config left standing. How much realistically can they get done?
Look at the damage. We have AZ low, Cadian gets tagged outside the yard, and Gade gets dinked to 3. That is just a round where OpTic hit almost every headshot. That's the value of the AK-47 over the M4. Some may say, oh, but you know, if you're going to hit the first shot to the head, why don't you hit the second? Well, the head animation or the head hitbox will sporadically move once a player gets dinged. That's why you consistently see these M4s get 94 and 1 or whatever the number be. Very hard to hit both headshots there. 9-9, and North, they've closed the gap at least. OpTic's pistol put them in the lead, but North's force has found them back. There's now OpTic, the ones with their backs up against the wall. Full eco for them, 2k per player. And North's chance for double digits in the final map of the series.
I mean, this has been a real close series throughout, and Nuke being a lot closer than I originally anticipated. Yeah, with a dominant performance from North, even on Overpass, right? That was their game to win at one point in time. Train looked pretty one-sided. I felt like heading into this, heading into Nuke, you know, one of the few kind of comfort maps for this North roster, I was expecting a much more one-sided affair. OpTic have impressed us thus far. This should be the chance for North to take the lead and keep a clean round. That certainly looks to be the case. Kierby opening up into the A-bomb site. Gade now emerging as well. Okay, does walk into this crossfire setup. The snack slowly getting dismantled here. That will be the 10th round for North. But now we get to see this buy from OpTic. No AWP in sight though. It will just be rifles out across the board. And you're pretty limited in terms of what utility you can field here. You're also going to note there's no kits on the CT side, so they can't really afford to let this bomb go down.
Yeah, retaking's hard enough even with them on Nuke, but let's see, North with the AWP is going to be the interesting point. I want to see MSL on that AWP soon on the CT side, because he's on 6 kills right now, Harry. Fast A play for AZ, caught in the Molotov. Cadian does trade with the AWP though, so keeping it in the 4-on-4, and North might just abuse this trade by dropping straight into A. Kierby goes right out through main and into the CT spawn. Fouled it, getting an entry, but traded immediately. Refresh will keep the site under control. This will delay Cadian, or at least deny his push into the A site. Kierby gets caught climbing the rafters, and MSL will take him down. That leaves Cadian alone, but he does have B.
Yeah, they get the info where both of these players are. He's trying to punch in the numbers, but Snappy's so quick in through ramp. And Cadian is just not ready for that sheer pace from Snappy. 10th round, answered straight back from OpTic here. And this one, close as ever. Delaying that defuse just a bit to allow Snappy to go ahead and retrieve all the utility up inside of A.
It's looting hours, Harry. And the Gremlins want their smokes back. 10-10. North still with plenty of money. These bomb plants on the T side have been pretty consistent, so not going to be a problem for them for the time being. However, OpTic has started to find their groove, and with MSL being given the AWP, that's where things could certainly get thrown into disarray. Look at this buy. I love this from North. They've got 10k per player, but instead of buying up fully, they go for a full SMG purchase. This allows for a very, very fast pace. And on top of that, it allows for you to come out, even with a lost round, with great economical damage and potentially a bomb plant on top of that. The issue is they're starting to get taken apart. MSL with the AWP, dropping Kierby early on. Straight up trade from AZ does give them the AWP, and a big upgraded weapon now as North drop down into B.
Oh, Nico just catching AZ as he tries to serpentine his way into Secret. Valdet going to clear the B bomb site, so the numbers getting plugged on in now, and this bomb going down.
Bomb has been planted.
Still no head armor over on Refresh or Configs. These SMGs can look to do damage and then potentially upgrade onto the rifles. Cadian holding close here at ramp. There's Gade with that scavenged rifle. Rather with his AK finding one. There's a rifle that could look to be retrieved, but Valdez going to get caught on the peak. Gade's still standing here, still in a position to try and do damage, and he's found Refresh, has to get them off the bomb. They're sticking it, Configs on it. And Snappy snaps up after. So OpTic back with an 11th round. They chain together 2. It looked like that could have been a good round for North, right? They were able to deal with MSL outside very, very easily. After he misses that first shot onto Gade, I think it was, or was it AZ?
AZ,
yeah,
off the main roof. So here's where the value of that buy comes out for North, right? They lose it, okay, not so great, but they get 3 kills in a bomb plant. Now, OpTic, who was sitting on about $7,000 per player 2 rounds ago, or at least in the start of the previous round, now have absolutely nothing. So if if North win this round, rather, that's going to break the money, and a lot of that is because of the close round they had in the previous. So, you know, they would have much preferred to win that round, sure, but not that this is the worst case scenario, because obviously they still got a bomb plant, but this is still a scenario where, you know, they've gotten something out of it. It still benefits.
Yeah, they've set themselves up now to potentially chain together a couple. And, you know, if you're North, that is fantastic news, because OpTic sit at 11-10 up in map number 3 of this first best of 3 for this season of Pro League. New format all on LAN as well, so it really is the proving grounds here. Round North going to be setting up a few players towards outside. Smokes aren't down just yet. There is a player over in secret that we just saw moving in a position, and that's MSL. Cadian trying to go blow for blow with Snappy down here on ramp, but Snappy's not giving anything up.
Ooh. Fully blinded by that flash. The thing is, that forces Snappy back as well, so, you know, he doesn't see anything, but he may get scared now, and he's dropped into B, which has given North ramp. Little do they know it. If anything, if they get into B, they're walking into a heavier setup, but now North are going to group up towards the ramp, and this is great. They're going to get a lot of free map control. And although OpTic are aware of it, I'm sure they have the hell position covered somewhat, or at least aware of that ability to get taken, rather. North are going to take ramp. 4 players here. Still that outside split in the form of Kiebi to come late in, either through main or secret. Because these players can still hit A. They've taken ramp. They're setting up for the B play, and then they're backing off through the lobby. 28 seconds. Here's where Kiebi's split finally comes into play. And with only 3 players on the A site, this could get messy.
Yeah, but Kiabi's attempted split in through mini has already been dealt with. 15 seconds as the push is coming in. And one by one, North trickling into the crosshairs of OpTic. Refresh.
What?
MSL, okay, on the ladder, able to get one. Trying to do something with the nade. Dancing around. Will get mollied out of the vent's position at the very least. But MSL and Snappy both sitting on 100 HP apiece. And AZ brought down so low. This was a round that it looked like North had almost certainly lost. They've somehow made something of it. And now AZ here, just 4 HP to his name, trying to shut down one of these prongs on the retake. And indeed he will. It's MSL, 1v2 required. It's not happening. He backs off. That was not a round that North should have been winning.
What on earth was that? That was 3 kills in a second from North in a 2-on-5 or a 2-on-4. Unreal. I mean, that's nothing you can account for when you're OpTic, but there were a lot of whiff sprays there. There was a player towards the back of the vents, the CT side vent, in A, that was scoped in with the AUG while fighting squeaky players, and he got so tunnel visioned, he was just spraying left, right, because there were players that were crossing him onto site. There were players that had not left squeaky yet. That's one of the things that you do have to be aware of with the AUG and the Krieg. That scope, that can, you know, benefit you and it can hurt you. You can tunnel vision very easily with that gun, and you lose a lot of your FOV once you scope in with it. So be aware of that. 11-11 and North, pace is in their hands, and they're looking to set it on this A site. Refresh with 2 off this shotgun. Trade is there, but do North commit? That's the question.
Ooh, Config not aware that Gade is wrapped around, but that might not matter. MSL in danger of getting caught out here, but damage done on Acadian forces him to try and take these fights, and he's got down into the vents. What is going on in this round? It's chaos. Acadian with the bomb on his back, and a minute and 15 left. He's turned around, tries to take the fight on it to MSL, but it doesn't pan out. The AWP retrieved and OpTic in with the 12th round. These have been messy rounds in the last few.
This is exactly what I hoped and wanted, Harry, from a game of, you know, friendships, enemies, teammates, ex-teammates.
Frenemies.
Frenemies, same thing, really. You've just shortened 2 words to one. But
I don't know if frenemy is more like, you know, an enemy.
Mine and your relationship.
Yeah, right? Like, it's strictly business, but, you know, there's a lot of deeply rooted hatred there as well.
Oh, it's not deeply rooted. It's all out in the open.
Just laughing through the pain.
Yeah, that's what my therapist told me. 12-11. I can't even keep track of who's winning these rounds at this point, Harry. It's so back and forth. OpTic being able to shut down that A-rush from North, maybe getting a bit overzealous. Obviously, Refresh with 2 on the shotgun. That was a massive opener as well. It really slowed down the pace, and you could see North hesitating for a second, standing up in the hut like, do we go? Do we stay? Gabe was already in the site, but the others didn't seem so committed.
The odd thing is we just need like one of the usual stars on these teams to start stepping up on either side of the plate. And, you know, then we could see a team maybe run away with it. But right now, you look at OpTic, right? You're having a quiet performance from Config. You look over at North, and Valda hasn't really done anything worth mentioning either.
Nor has Gade, who's been the best performer throughout this series for North.
Yeah, I mean, they're both sitting bottom of the board right over on this T side. Nuke are Gade and Valda. So the attempted ramp progression once again from North. And immediately, Snappy just concedes it, drops that Molotov to deny the fast peek down through ramp, and gives him a bit of time to set up on the other side of it. The issue is he's done this time and time again, so AZ very much ready for it. Double peeked into that with Gade. Ooh. But somehow, once again, man advantage back in favor of OpTic. These rounds have been so chaotic, so back and forth. Here's a Refresh arriving into the B bomb site. In the blink of an eye, it's only Kirby on this wrap left standing.
Oh, but he's just snuck past the player in vents. I think he got spotted. No, he didn't. Still with the element of surprise and still with the bomb planted behind the silo. He could win this on his own, but Config's on the flank. And that was nice from OpTic. Take their time. Do not rush into that 2-on-1. You haven't seen Kirby all round. He could be anywhere. And OpTic will get that defuse in time. So 13-11. North's messy buy is not successful, and now they're going to have to give one away to OpTic. Without a doubt, you cannot buy here if you're North. You've got to play for the 14-11. They've had their fair share of force buys and SMGs this game, but this will not be one of them. It's going to be pistols, flat pistols across the board here for North as OpTic sit with a commanding lead on the CT side of Nuke. And what a game this has been, Harry, and what a game it will continue to be. I don't think we're anywhere near finished.
Well, you say that, but this should almost definitely be the 14th for OpTic. And I mean, it's certainly looking that way. Just 2 players left standing. And, you know, I feel like this would be a pretty heartbreaking best-of-3 to lose if you're North, right? You're the more tenured squad. Not only that, but you've had, you know, a good few of these players on OpTic in your team already. And you've had the option to pick them up, right? You've made the decision that you wanted to go with your 5. You wanted to try and run the North experiment, right? Build upon it. And right now, OpTic, the team that was kind of the scraps that were left over from the Danish scene, maybe about to beat North in this first best-of-3.
And that's the thing, it's players that North have replaced, not ones that have voluntarily left, ones that North have gone, no, we no longer want you in this roster. And now they're coming back to beat them. I mean, that's a kick in the teeth, if anything. So let's see if OpTic can do it, Harry. We're painting a grim reality for North, but they are still very much in this game for now. This rifle round is the make or break. They lose this, and they have nothing left for the 15-11. So if there was ever a time for your coach to come in with a big old back rub and a massage, like North love to do, this is it. Fast yard play. Gade's going right by the smoke. MSL finding a kill from the back secret stairs, and he's going to peek down and escape to the B site. North, they flash their way deep into the spawn. I don't know if Snappy's realized he's scoped in with the AWP, but Valdi's going to find the shot onto him. In the meantime, Gade drops in the yard, so this is still favorable for OpTic, but that kill changes everything. AZ catches Refresh pushing back into A. with 2 players on this A site. It's a strong defense for OpTic, but the split up through main, heaven, and hut could be a problem.
Ooh, Config's dealt with the wraparound, and one by one they fall. It's AZ in a 1v3. His teammates have perished around him, and he's got a lot to do now, and it's just not happening. 15-11. OpTic going to be reaching match point here on Nuke. They took Overpass in overtime. But here on Nuke, they're looking to try and get it done in regulation. They just need one more round to have beat their Danish counterparts in this group, rather.
And in a group that, as said by Chad and Alex, the favourites are North, right? At least on paper. Obviously, we have this Mousesports roster we don't really know what to make of in terms of how good are they going to be. But on paper, the most proven team in this group is North. And they're about to lose to, you know, a ragtag mix of Danes that is a very recent formation of this roster. An impressive win for OpTic if they can so do it, but you've definitely got to be throwing question marks the way of North if they let this one slip.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, you'd be able to go easier on them if North were a squad that we were used to seeing strong things from, and this was just maybe a one-off, right? But the fact that this has been maybe a bit of a reoccurring problem for them is why you look at it through harsh lenses. Flash going to get thrown in towards A. Early molly to deny the quick play in through Squeaky, and Config on the other side. They're going to try and barrel in, but him and Nico have combined for 2. And actually, Nico's going to go back for a bit more. Kierby will shut him down. Refresh inside of the bomb site, making quick work of this offensive, and it's Kierby thrust into the 1v3. He does get down into the vents, and he's got the B bomb site, but Snappy already arriving on the scene. He's going to go just for the smoke plant. Might get away with that, but he does not have a lot of room here. MSL going to find him an OpTic 16-11 as they pick up this third map.
2-1 in the best-of-3 series. The first victory of ESL Pro League Season 9 Europe has been taken, and it is OpTic. What an upset for these Danes, and what a defeat for North. That is something that they are going to be shaking their heads